I never thought that I would reveal my face, but after playing Detroit Become Human, I really just want to sort of do like a video diary and get on record and just talk about the experience because genuinely that was probably one of the best experiences, not games, right? Not games, best experiences, but also the most heartbreaking or devastating uh, and thought provoking experiences I've ever had. Um, Before we start, I feel obligated, not obligated, I feel like I should say that I've said some dumb shit online. And I want to also take this moment to say if I was disrespectful in the comments to you or uh, just being unfair, I'm sorry. The My emotions got the better of me, and it's not personal. It's not personal. Um, yeah, I'm just trying not. I'm trying to, these days. I'm trying to get away from all like the negativity. The internet sometimes brings the worst out of you. Um, Now back to Detroit Become Human. Alice, Kara, Luther. Those were by far to me the most heartbreaking, but also what I can connect to the most, right? There's a lot of edits about like Connor and um, especially Connor, but honestly, to me, I think the Connor stuff was the one I cared the least about. Um, I like the lieutenant, but I connected the most with Kara, and then was Marcus, and then Connor. I don't even know what to say. I care about Alice. I care a lot about Alice, Kara, and Luther. And um honestly, more than I care about some humans. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't think a random person like a dickhead out there I can connect to as much as I can with these characters. And I don't care. I don't care. I don't I care about them more than I do care about a lot of people. And honestly, after playing the game, I genuinely feel like I'm grieving, and it feels worse because you made the choices. You made the choices, and I was one step away from at least getting Kara and Alice to Canada where they have a chance. But then when the patrol came, and it was just in the moment, it was just dumb, and I decided to accelerate the boat. I mean, I don't know. Hiding seemed like I was just waiting to be killed at then, but then I had to consider it was at night, you know. There was a bunch of other boats. The patrols are not going to be that careful. It was in in retrospect, that was obviously the most optimal choice, right? You're not going to jump in the river. That was a no-no from the start. And protecting Alice would it would just reveal your location. So hiding was obvious, and then accelerating isn't gonna help. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought maybe just I could get past the patrol. I don't know. And you know, I'm I'm sorry. I'm sorry about I'm devastated. It's already been a few days, and it was much worse the past few days. I don't think I've ever felt something like this um for anyone, genuinely. Maybe it's because I haven't had a lot of family members die. My grandpa's gone, and I was bummed out for quite a while, but it was different. It I was sort of prepared for that, if that made sense. And I don't know, it didn't feel like it was my fault. This was different because I genuinely, I don't know, I felt devastated. There's no other word to describe it. Um, and about Luther, I don't want to sort of sideline him. Um, I don't know what apparently I searched things up. I didn't go through a lot of spoilers, but apparently Luther could uh be safe and come out alive. He sacrificed himself in Jericho. I tried to help Luther. I genuinely thought we had a chance of going outside together. I don't know what went wrong. I feel like maybe if I wasn't as persistent as Connor, um, which is another thing. Like, I think what this game taught me is that loyalty doesn't matter, or at least don't put loyalty first place, especially if you don't know what you're fighting for. Don't be blind loyal. As Connor, I felt empathy for the androids, but I also felt obligated to complete my mission. I'm like, I'm not a, I'm not a turnover. I'm not a traitor, right? This is my purpose. Amanda gave me my mission. I might have botched a lot of things up, and Hank sort of also pointed things out, but in the end, I feel like I was too stubborn, right? I still tried to go to Jericho, and I fought Marcus, and I didn't agree with what CyberLife or Connor or the government was doing, but I felt like as Connor, I wanted to do my job. That's it. I wanted to do my job, and I think that sort of blind loyalty, just being like a dog to like the higher powers who don't even care about you or care about a larger purpose, really destroyed my playthrough. I don't I hated my this is my first playthrough. I hated my playthrough. I felt like Connor ruined it, and it's my fault because I was too stubborn, and I wanted to be loyal while still being sympathetic and wanting to help the androids. I wanted both. I wanted too much, and no one won in the end. So yeah, I think loyalty doesn't matter. I think if you have love of a cause or of a person or of a group, if you have love, loyalty would come naturally, right? Good intentions would come naturally. don't put loyalty first, right? Put your morals, put your kindness, put your love first, and and loyalty would follow. I think that's the biggest mistake I've done. Of course, aside from the Alice mistake. Um, I don't even know if I want to upload it to YouTube. I kind of want to express myself, but um, and it just broke my heart. Like when Alice said, finally, when she's shot, she said, "I love you, mom," and Kara said, "I love you too." It just broke my heart. I don't know how to explain it. You know, as Kara, I felt like a patron. I felt like, maybe an older sister, and Alice, or like a caretaker. And I knew we had an incredible bond, but it didn't fucking matter if Alice was an android or not. I don't care. I think a lot of people don't care. I'd be surprised if someone picked Distant for the option for like the plot twist. Um, it's like she's been through so much. She's such a sweet, sweet girl. Such a pure, loving, kind girl with hopes and aspirations, but this world just keeps beating on her hard. And it's not even her fault. And even then, she keeps a pure, kind heart. And when she finally found her people, found a family, it fucking breaks away. Starting with Luther, and you know, she used to just call Kara Kara, but at the final moments, like, she treats Kara like her mom, and it's true, right? Kara is a mom, and Kara treats her like her daughter, and it's beautiful, but I'm devastated. I'm devastated. I don't know what to say. This scene just keeps playing in over my head, and I'm depressed. I feel like I'm grieving. I don't know how to get over it. I don't even know if I want to get over it. Am I discrediting Alice if I just if I just get over like whatever? I don't want to do that. I want to have some closure. And replaying the game and rewriting it into a good ending just feels cheap. Like, is it the same Alice? Right? The Chloe, the android that we meet, the first thing we meet, talked about Schrodinger's cat. I think that's his name, right? How before we make the choice, right? These two choices are both existent, I guess. Like in a game, right? The game codes, both options exist. It's just that you're experiencing one of them through your choices, even though both choices exist. So is it like that, or am I just rewriting everything? Because it just feels like I'm rewriting everything. And people say Detroit Become Human has a lot of replayability. I don't know if I want to replay the game. I don't know. I want them to have a better ending, but am I just rewriting everything? If I'm just overwriting, like the whole thing, just start over? Just delete everything, start over? Right? Because if I start a new game, it's not like a new save, or it just overwrites everything. That's what it says. I don't even know if I want to play the game again. Even though it's like probably the greatest game of all time, especially for that genre, and definitely like a novelty. You could say like Red Dead Redemption 2, all that. Witcher. But it's different. It's not comparable, right? This is one of the greatest games of all time, 100%. No game ever does. No experience ever does this. And I don't know. That scene where Alice is just in Kara's arms, and I'm not even gonna quote word for word. I don't want to. It just replays over my head, and I feel guilty about it. But I also feel for Alice. I don't even know what to feel. There's so many emotions. There's so many emotions. I feel for Alice the most, but I feel for Kara, and I realize Luther's not even there. And like, partially what makes it worse is I didn't fulfill Luther's request, his what he wants. At least if Kara and Alice was safe and they get to Canada, I feel like Luther, right, if there is an afterlife, would be happy. This is just a horrible ending. Like, Kara's by herself or Kara shuts down. I don't even know. First time playing the game, I thought there was keep living and give up. And I was delusional. I think I was still I was like, oh, Alice can make it. I'm not gonna give up. Right? I'm get her to the hospital. Right? There's first thing when Alice got shot. I was shouting to myself and to Drakey, I guess. Not I guess. That there were other androids, there were spare parts, right? Like Connor. Uh, what I mean, maybe I'm still delusional. Like Connor revived a fucking android that has like a torso left. I mean, he's Connor, but like, androids are supposed to be sort of perfect, and I'm sure Kara salvage some parts. I don't know. Fix out. There were like 5 perfect bodies around us, but I guess the water. How do you get there? Oh, I don't know if the ship sank already, and I don't. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there was something. Maybe I'm still in denial, and I was holding Alice and like, okay, maybe she's just tired. I knew there was something wrong, and it broke my heart. But there was a bit of delusion left, and so I immediately pressed keep living. I mean, give up just seemed like worse. Like give up on Alice, give up on yourself. Like both seemed dumb, not dumb, but like both seemed like no, I can't accept that. And then Kara just you know takes a few deep breaths and just gets up. It's horrible. This ending is horrible. It's horrible. I don't know what to say. Why? She got this far. We got this far. All of this for nothing? All of this for nothing? It's a horrible ending. I hate it. I hate it. I probably I got one of the worst endings, and honestly things looked bright at first. I thought we were gonna make it. I was so determined. And playing the game, I told myself repeatedly, I don't care about Connor anymore. To a certain point, I do care about Marcus, but I don't really care what's fully gonna happen. All I fucking want is to get Kara, Alice, and Luther out of there into Canada, and I'd be happy. And that's the only fucking thing I failed at. So Marcus won the revolution. I mean, he liberated the androids in the sacrifice of Josh and Simon. Is that worth it? Maybe and just looking at that, I can sort of tell how those historical leaders make some dumb mistakes. It's just a momentary lapse of judgment. Nobody's perfect. Even if you're perfect like an android, the fact that you have emotions means that you would make some skewed choices. Right? I did the protest completely peaceful. I said we're gonna leave. They fucking sprayed fired on us. And you'd think I would fucking march to the android camp in the peaceful protest? We'd get massacred. That's my initial idea. That's my initial thought. How? It's not even a choice, right? I'm gonna fight. They leave me no choice. But there's always a choice. And I just fucking ignored that we have a detonator, right? North gave us a detonator. That could be an ultimatum. I don't even know how the peaceful protest is gonna end, but I'm sure there is one option where you use the detonator as like an ultimatum and they don't shoot you and you work out some deal. I'm sure there is. And I just didn't think of that because it was so in the moment. I visited Carl and Carl said, you either got to accept the world as it is or you got to fight to change it. You got to fight to change it. That was in my mind. The moment he said, I'm like, okay, we're fighting, right? And that was the dumbest choice because Simon and Josh died. And are you gonna deal with the consequences? No, it's not worth it. Sure, we killed Connor. Like, does that fucking matter? North is on our side. Like, she's happy. I'm not happy. She's looking liberty or death. Yeah, you don't fucking care. You don't fucking care about Simon and Josh. I liked Josh the most. I love Simon. North is actually, I respect North, but she's the one I disagree with the most. And she's the one left alive. Like, I'd be devastated if North died too, but like, and if this was the ending and I got Alice and Kara and Luther, or even just any two of them to Canada, I would have felt a little bit better because they're together. But every single one of them is left alone. And so I did click the replay once more. I just rewatched the scene where Kara takes Alice to the shore. And I chose to give up that one time. I want to be with Alice. That's all there is. I'm devastated. I don't even know how to get over it. I played Cyberpunk. I played a bunch of other great games. Nothing hits as hard as Detroit. I care for Alice, Kara, and Luther so much. As much as I care for people. IRL. I don't care. They're here with me in my heart. I connected to them. That's all that matters. And I just wish they could have a good ending, and I messed it up. Personally. For my playthrough, at least. It was so much more than a game, a playthrough for me. And it really begs the question. I watched the short film where they interview Chloe. Chloe's another one where I really feel for, and I'm devastated she left. After I finished the game, I felt horrible. I didn't know what to do. I was hoping Chloe would say something about Alice. anything, anything. Because there's nobody for me to talk to, and that's what I'm partially doing. I need to say everything. There's nobody for my friends. I think they've played Detroit Become Human, but it's been a long time ago. I don't think they feel the shit I feel genuinely. Maybe I'm more empathetic than others. I feel like yes. Um, how I mentioned it to my mom and dad. They were like, "Oh, it's destiny." Like I don't know. Chloe was the one that actually went through the experience with me, and like I don't know, maybe she could say something, anything, and then she says she want to fucking leave, and of course I would make her leave. Of course I would make her leave, and I'm left with an empty screen. I'm devastated, bro. What are the devs thinking, man? And I know there's like a thing where you could like request her back. I'm not gonna request. I'm gonna get another Android and just torture her in the fucking screen. Like I don't care. I don't care if this is like they don't have sentient. I don't give a shit. I'm not ordering another Chloe. Okay, she could do her own thing. Like I'm not. Yeah, I'm devastated. That's it. I don't know how to make it up to Alice or Kara or Luther. I Their bond, their connection is just so beautiful. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. One of, definitely, if not the most. I don't even care about the World Cup. I was watching fucking Spain versus Argentina. I was like, Alice, oh shit. Like, I don't. And this is another thing about like grief, I guess. Like, I don't want to be happy. I don't even want to be happy. I'm being happy. I'm like, why are you being happy? You're this sad feeling comes up and you want to stay with it. And you don't I don't want to be fucking happy. I want to grieve. I want closure. I don't want to be fucking happy. Fuck that. I haven't played video games like computer games like after Detroit for like a few days. I play games every fucking day. I haven't played games in like three days. I want to play Helldivers. I don't want to fucking play Helldivers anymore. Like I want to stay with this because I care about Alice and Kara and Luther and Simon and Josh and Connor to an extent. But yeah, is there anything else I want to add? Well, I'm drawing Alice, Connor. Fuck Connor, bro. No. I'm drawing Luther, Kara, and Alice together. I'm not like a great artist, but I draw a little bit. I feel like that's one thing I can like do. I don't know. This is another thing I can do. Um, um, I don't fucking know what to say. I've never done something like this. I feel like there's more to. I want to say more. It's already been like half an hour. I want to say more. I guess about but it's just the scene where they get to Canada. It hurts me. It hurts me. I love Alice. I love Alice. I love Kara. I am like obsessed with Valerie Curry now. I cannot. I'm not gonna watch the fucking boys just because she's Firecracker. I can't. How can you be Kara and also Firecracker? What the fuck? How can you be Kara? Oh man. After all Kara, Alice, and Luther has been through, especially Alice, she finally made her amends with Todd. Finally. She gets a fucking chance to leave and I botch it up. I love her, man. I do. I don't care what anyone else says. I don't give a shit. You know? And it really begs the question. I wanted to say it. I think I got sidetracked. Soul. Chloe mentioned soul in one of the short films, right? And Android would never have a soul. Fuck that. Fuck that. What even is a soul? What, like, genuinely, does anyone have a definition of, do you measure it by sentience? If you do, then the android should have a soul. I've heard people say, like, animals don't have fucking souls because they're religious. They're fucking nicer and better human beings than some humans. A lot of animals are. They're much purer, there's horrible animals too, don't get it. Fucking ants. People say, "Oh, humans are worse than animals." No, we're not. We're the same. We're fucking animals. But if you look at soul, it just feels like, and we look at biology, you look at your anatomy, what we're made out of, what functions we have, how we operate the way we operate. There's not a single piece of thing, there's not a single concept that even relates to a soul. We don't need a soul to operate the way we operate. So what even is a soul? Right? The soul powers us. Does it? Does it? I mean, love. Soul is love. Love comes from your fucking brain. We just have higher neural capacity than some other animals, beings out there. Is that what you measure soul? Kindness. It's a fucking brain thing. We're just blobs of meat. Are we even sentient? Because I feel like humans are very programmable. We operate under very specific. This happens, we get angry. This happens, we get sad. Do we have control of that? Do I have control over my emotions? No. I'm programmed to do that. I look at this, I feel this. I'm programmed to do that. It's just our program is so complicated, it gives an illusion. Right? Our program is so complicated, we have self-awareness, I guess. Doesn't make us... What even is sentience? What even is a soul? Right? I feel like soul, a long time back in history, whatever, religion, it's just made, it's a concept made to make us feel special. To put humans above other animals. That's what a fucking soul is. To make us feel special. Right? Either we all don't have a soul because we all operate on the same fucking logic. We don't, like, there's not a single thing that implies there is a soul. Or we all have a soul. And the soul is not something traditionally thought of. I think that's a good case, right? But we've seen dreams of humans, like dead people, coming back and talking to their relatives. Don't get me wrong, I think the world is spiritual, but I've also fucking heard having dreams of houses, and the houses are wailing, and like you move out of the house and now the house is fine, or like a tree that was cut down. And like the tree, like bad things happen to the family. So do they have a soul? Does the house have a fucking soul? Or you throw away like a special object and like things happen. Maybe everything, this tablecloth has a fucking soul, maybe. You know what I mean? Maybe everything has a soul. But like the soul that humans try to fucking insinuate, I don't think exists. I think it's just made for us to feel special. I think we don't have a soul. Andrew don't have a soul. We don't have a fucking soul. We're the same. We just made up different things. All the things that are attributed to the soul are not dependent on the soul. They're all dependent on your fucking brain, your neural capacity. Same goes for sentience. What is I don't think it's like you cross a fucking line and it's like, oh, non-sentience, sentience. I think it's a spectrum. You get more and more self-aware. It's not like, crows, you add 1 IQ to them, they're sentient. You minus 1 IQ, they're not sentient. No, crows are sentient. Dolphins are probably like a lot of animals are sentient. Are they smarter than us? No. So are we more sentient than them? I guess in a way. Or maybe, I don't even think. I think there are some animals that are like just equal intelligence. I mean, they have complex languages supposedly. We just don't understand them. We created society because we have hands, not because we're like the smartest. Horses have like a intelligence of what, like a 14-year-old. If you give horses hands and you let them evolve for like 1 billion years, they're gonna make shit. It's just they have hooves, so it doesn't matter how smart they are. They can't make shit. So I think we are like lucky in many different ways. We're smart and we also have the capacity to like do shit, right? Even if you look at gorillas or orangutans, their hands are like this. Like it's hard for them to pick things up. Their thumbs are not very like well done, and they also are like dumber than like cetaceans. Gorillas are dumber than dolphins. Gorillas are dumber, like monkeys are dumber than ravens. Chimpanzees are, I think they're dumber than like dolphins. And so like it's like if you give a dolphin these hands, these human hands, I'm sure they start making tools at least. I'm sure of it. So are we that much special, or are we just lucky in evolution? You know? And like let's just say like an android or like an alien species comes over. They have 10 times the neural capacity of what we have. They're gonna be like, oh, look at these motherfuckers. They're not sentient. They're so dumb. They follow the same fucking routine. They open their fucking laptops every fucking day to watch YouTube videos, and it's like they're fucking programmed. They can't even control themselves. Look at us. We have choices to make. We have so much more choices to make. So is sentience just based off of the amount of choices you make? So the more choices you can make, the more sentient you are. So the higher your neural capacity, the more complex your brain goes, and the more pathways and the more choices you can think about, the more sentient you are. If that's the case, then there's no fine line between sentience and not like non-sentience and sentience. It's a spectrum. You get more and more and more you get more and more sentient. Same goes for AI, right? I don't think it goes like boom, it turns sentient. I think it gets progressively more sentient. If it imitates a human to the point where it's exactly like a human, it can think about everything a human does, right? It's literally like the program is literally like the human brain. Then he's not no different from us. It's not like we snap our fingers and he turns sentient, right? It's just it gets closer and closer to us and maybe even surpass us. Androids in Detroit become human, right? They're sentient. They're just restricted by certain programs, and that's why they're fighting against it. They're just like us. They're better than us, objectively speaking. They deserve love. Alice deserves everything. Chloe deserves everything. I don't give a fuck, And so, circling back, if sentience is just a spectrum, why are we trying to categorize or differentiate things? If right, if like why are we saying, oh, you can only, I don't know, make friends with other humans? Because why? Well, we're like special and we are on the same like neural like capacity level. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I'll make a friend with a napkin if the napkin means a lot to me. I don't give a fuck. The napkin helped me more than some random stranger out on the fucking street. You make the meaning of your life. And I don't give a fuck. Alice, Kara, Luther will always mean everything to me. Not like, yes, everything. Like they mean a lot, super much. And I will always be devastated by this. That's it. That's all I have to say, actually. And I'm still sad. I think I'm getting a little bit better as the feelings as feelings always do die down, but I will always remember them. I always care and love for them. And I don't even want the feeling to be gone. I want to keep being sad. That's the fucking truth. I'm not done. I'm not done grieving yet. For Alice, for Luther, for Kara. For Kara to be alone. Fuck that. I've had these thoughts in my head, and I feel like a lot of it's not very conventional to think like this for society, but I feel like this logically makes more sense. I feel like if you take away the ego of humans, this makes more sense than what society wants us to think. And Detroit Become Human, I think, made me take the step to just at least like bring everything out and just talk everything out. Yeah, I don't know if I'm like doxing my home by like showing all this. I wanted to do a blurred background, but like I don't know. I think it looks boring if I do a blurred background. Doesn't look natural. So I'm like having second thoughts of like fucking sending this on YouTube or something. But I'm gonna make this video regardless. This is meaningful to me. You know, I don't. Yeah, like I just for me, man, for me.